Thanks for staying with us. We'll be starting the newspaper review with The Nation. Power supply worsens as generation drops to 3,134 megawatts. TCM blames gas shortage. 30 megawatts coming from Kashimbila. Enugu community stalls multi-billion naira project. Lagos to float airline build airports in Lekki. Katsina governor advocates state police. Rivers Assembly arson, 5 sent to prison. Government's labor minimum wage talks for March. Why Supreme Court affirmed Fubara, Kefa's Aliyu victories. Ayedatiwa set to inaugurate Adelami. Presidency tackles Atiku over claim on NMPC's $3.3 billion loan. What stories do we have in The Nation?
Okay, so I have the major headline. Power generation worsens across the country. It has dropped to 3,134 megawatts across the country, and the TCN noted that the allocation to the discos, which was 3,944 megawatts on Tuesday, rose marginally on Wednesday to 4,000 before it then dropped again drastically to 3,134 megawatts yesterday. They gave a statement, they talk Oyibo, plenty things. Go and read Nation if you want all the details. But Coco is that we don't have light. But this has been a consistent, decline.
Yeah.
Since this new administration. It's almost like the power ministry is not an active one. And I like that the administration has, an assessment of each ministry's performance. So if truly there's an assessment, this is the one we used to measure it. What I am going through at home without an alternative system that I have would have been disaster. Would have been a disaster, because now we even ration what they get. So they don't get enough allocation. They then ration a day on, a day off, all of those insulting kind of power, and then it's annoying. And in the same vein, they declared a higher profit. And I'm wondering how? We consistently, the grid has fallen, has collapsed too many times under this administration, under the present minister. So you should sit up and check what is happening.
Something has to be done. So the federal government said they will open talks with Labour on the new minimum wage in March. This was the Information and National Orientation Minister Alhaji Mohammed Idris said this yesterday, and he reiterated the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's commitment to workers' welfare, urging the Nigerian Labour Congress and Nigerians to be patient with the administration. He spoke at the 21st Trust Dialogue and Presentation of 2023 African Award of the Year in Abuja. The dialogue with the theme Tinubu's Economic Reforms, Gainers and Losers said it was organized by the Media Trust Group. And he, highlighted the fact that the administration is trying to mitigate the impact of the fuel subsidy removal. And, he took us back to when Labour had said that they needed an increase in the minimum wage. And the federal government said they were going to be giving 25,000 naira as a cushion for, federal workers, which was later renegotiated to 35,000 naira. To be paid for 6 months. Now, after 6 months, which will be ending in March, they will be having a meeting where they come together, all the stakeholders will come together and then find a way to now deliberate on the new minimum wage. So he said something, and I quote, "However, it is important for Nigerians to understand the intention of President Tinubu to address the welfare and well-being of all Nigerians. I know it's not easy, but Nigerians will be better for it. And it's time to make the country right, So let's see what happens in March. Let's see how much they would be deliberating to pay as minimum wage. What other stories do we have in The Nation?
Okay, so yesterday there was a Lagos West Senatorial District Town Hall meeting that held in Balmoral Convention Center in Ikeja, and the governor was present, and one of the things he did at the conference was to give like an overview of his administration's progress. And at this meeting, he said that Lagos is to float an airline and to build the airports in Lekki. And so we've heard this over and over again, and I think that it's really laudable of him to keep us aware of the plans that the government has, right? And one of the things also he also mentioned was that the Fourth Mainland Bridge is to commence soon, although there are funding challenges currently. but he kind of like gave a brief overview of the projects that are ongoing and are to start at the district town hall meeting yesterday.
Do we have another story?
No, please.
Okay. Let's move on now to the Punch. Tinubunomics. Federal government differs as NLC says reforms killing Nigerians. Listening to IMF, World Bank has never helped Nigeria. NLC President tells Tinubu. President determined to make life better for citizens, says Information Minister. Customs sees 4 billion naira cocaine arms from South Africa. Tinubu approves 50 billion naira security vote for 5 northern states. Naira drops at parallel market, closes 900 to a dollar official window. Nigeria, Morocco fast-tracks talks on $30 billion gas pipeline. Federal government releases funds for second Niger bridge, Lagos-Ibadan bypass. Mr. Ibu's son arrested for allegedly theft of 50 million naira donation. U.S. court fines Nigerian blogger $50,000 for defaming MFM overseer. What stories do we have in the Punch?
So I have the major headline again. And the NLC president, Joe Ajero, yesterday at the 21st Daily Trust Dialogue in Abuja, tackled President Bola Ahmed Tinubu over his what he termed economic hardship in the country. He based it on, some of the policies, the cash crunch, the removal of subsidy, a lot of all those things that, the policies that this present government is, applying right now to our issues. And he says that they are not people-centric. They're not easing things for the people. Also present at that event was the Minister for Information and National Orientation, who went against what he said. He disagreed with him. He faulted his criticism. He said that the president, that Nigerians, he assured that we will soon start to see the benefits of the reforms that the president is doing. Also, the special advisor on information and strategy to the president, said that all the economic reforms that the president is doing were pro-Nigeria. But Joe Ajero insisted that, following the advice of the World Bank and international bodies in deciding on policies for Nigeria will not help Nigeria. He said the cost of governance in Nigeria is 50% he said the government that does not deliberately reduce the cost of governance in Nigeria by 50% is deceptive. He said that, all of these policies that they are bringing on can be visibly seen to bring hardship on Nigerians. Sadly, I agree with the NLC president on, heeding to advice from international bodies. I don't think they are focused on how we'll grow Nigeria.
How we grow, yeah.
I think their business is their business, how to make profit. So we're constantly getting loans, servicing loan. Over a third of our budget every year goes to servicing loan. Obviously, whoever is pushing us in that direction is not thinking about us.
Yeah, but do we have to listen to them?
Yeah, so
they can make their recommendations.
Don't listen. Don't even take their recommendations. Do your policies from a Nigeria view. Perspective. Every time, Nigeria first, nothing else. Before, we arrive at those policies. And hopefully, we'll see results.
Okay.
So I have the FG Morocco to fast-track EID for 30 billion gas pipeline project. So I think in 2022, there was a meeting between Nigeria and Morocco in Abuja to help all of our fuel issues before the subsidy was even removed. But there's a need. There's been talks this January to see how that can be fast-tracked, how they can create money. So they had a meeting yesterday where both parties emphasized the strategic importance of the project to the two countries. And well, it's a lot of money, billion. We just hope that this pipeline that is planned to go through Benin, Togo, Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, Liberia, Sierra Leone, a host of countries all the way to Spain. I hope it works in our favor and they are able to conclude it. So the plan is to conclude it before June. We hope it happens.
Yeah. All right, let's take a short break. When we come back, we continue the newspaper reviews. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.